The sun hung low in the vast African sky, casting an amber glow over the endless golden grasslands. A warm breeze stirred the air, rustling through the dry grass and carrying the distant echoes of roaring lions and trumpeting elephants. The savannah was alive with movement, but in a quiet patch of land near a towering acacia tree, a lone figure stood still. A young cheetah cub, separated from his family. Kito had been trailing behind his mother and siblings, playfully swatting at grasshoppers and chasing shadows, when he realized he had wandered too far. He lifted his small, spotted head, his amber eyes scanning the horizon for the familiar shapes of his family. But they were gone. His heart pounded in his tiny chest as panic set in. A deep growl rumbled from nearby bushes. Kito froze. His tiny body tensed as a pair of golden eyes glowed in the fading light. A hyena, much larger than him, emerged from the thicket, its mouth curling into a sly grin. The cub backed away, his small claws digging into the dry earth. He had never faced danger alone before. Just as the hyena took a slow step forward, another sound broke through the tension. A sharp, commanding snarl. A large, scarred cheetah leaped onto a nearby rock, his golden coat glistening under the sunset. His presence alone was enough to make the hyena hesitate. With a low grunt, the scavenger slunk back into the shadows, leaving Kito trembling but unharmed. The older cheetah, a lone male named Jengo, watched Kito with piercing eyes. "You're too small to be alone out here," he said, his voice deep but not unkind. Kito swallowed hard and nodded. "I lost my mother. I don't know where to go." Jengo studied him for a moment before turning away. "Then you must learn. Follow me." Without another word, the older cheetah padded forward, his long limbs moving gracefully through the tall grass. Kito hesitated, glancing once more at the empty savannah behind him, then rushed after Jengo. The night descended quickly, bringing with it a chilling wind. The two cheetahs moved silently through the darkness, Kito struggling to match Jengo's swift and calculated steps. "Did you help me?" Kito asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Jengo didn't stop walking, because this land is unforgiving to the weak. If you want to survive, you must be strong. Kito frowned. "I am strong." Jengo let out a short chuckle. "Then prove it." As they walked, Jengo began to teach Kito the ways of the wild. He showed him how to keep low when stalking prey, how to listen for the faintest rustle of danger, and how to use the wind to mask his scent. The cub absorbed every lesson, eager to learn, desperate to survive. The days stretched into weeks. Kito honed his skills, catching small rodents and birds under Jengo's watchful eye. He learned to move like a whisper, blend into the grass, and run faster than he ever had before. But even as he improved, an ache remained in his heart, the longing for his family. One afternoon, as the sun blazed overhead, Jengo decided to push Kito further. "You think you're strong now?" he asked. "Let's see." He led Kito to an open stretch of land where gazelles grazed peacefully. Jengo pointed toward a young gazelle at the edge of the herd. "Hunt!" Kito's heart pounded. He had never taken down prey larger than a bird. He crouched low, inching forward as Jengo had taught him. The wind shifted, carrying his scent toward the herd. The gazelles lifted their heads, muscles tensing. The moment was slipping away. Kito leapt forward, his legs a blur, but the gazelle was faster. In an instant, the herd scattered, leaving Kito panting and empty-pawed. Oh, Jengo watched silently as Kito caught his breath, frustration in his amber eyes. "Speed is not enough," Jengo said. "You must be patient. You must think." Kito nodded, determination setting in. The next day, he tried again. This time, he watched the herd, studying their movements. He chose a slower, injured gazelle, one that strayed from the group. With steady breaths, he crept closer. Then, like lightning, he sprang. His paws hit the ground in perfect rhythm, his body moving in sync with the chase. In mere seconds, he caught his prey. Jengo gave a rare nod of approval. Now, you are learning. That night, Kito sat beside Jengo atop a rocky outcrop. Below them, the savannah stretched endlessly, a sea of golden grass swaying with the breeze. "Do you think I'll find them?" Kito asked. Jengo's eyes remained fixed on the horizon. "Perhaps, but even if you do, you will not be the same cub they lost." Kito pondered his words. He felt different already, stronger, more aware, but he still wanted to see his mother again. The next day, the sky darkened with approaching storm clouds. The air grew thick with electricity, and the scent of rain clung to the wind. As they moved through the tall grass, a distant sound made Kito's ears perk up. A sharp, urgent call. His heart leapt. He knew that voice. His mother. Without thinking, he bolted forward, his paws barely touching the ground as he ran toward the sound. Jengo watched for a moment before following. Kito skidded to a stop near a watering hole, his breath coming in short, excited bursts. And there, under the storm-darkened sky, stood his mother, her sleek spotted coat shimmering in the dim light. She turned at the sound of his paws, her amber eyes widening. "Kito!" she gasped, rushing to him. Kito felt warmth flood through him as he nuzzled against her, his small body pressed against hers. He was home. His siblings emerged from behind her, their faces filled with joy. Kito beamed, but then turned back toward the shadows. Jengo stood at the edge, watching silently. "Are you coming?" Kito called. Jengo gave a slow shake of his head. "My place is here." Kito hesitated, then nodded. He understood. Jengo had saved him, taught him, made him stronger. He would never forget. As he turned to leave with his family, he cast one last glance at the lone cheetah disappearing into the night. Some guardians never ask for thanks, and some lessons stay with you forever. The wind whispered through the savannah as Kito, no longer a lost cub, walked home.